If you've watched any of the videos on this channel, you know that the average individual doesn't feel equipped to do well with money. And it's no surprise that most people in America don't feel like they are making enough money to be financially secure. And this really hits at the heart of this channel. So my name is Samuel, and if you're new here, thank you for coming. And if this isn't your first time here, thank you for coming back. The point of this channel has been to take personal finance and simplify it. I really believe that most people can win with money. They just need financial education and tools. We don't do very good at equipping people with either of those. So when I saw the CNBC article talking about how much the average American feels like they need to make in a salary in order to be financially secure, it piqued my interest. So I want you to guess. How much do you think the average American feels like they need to make in a year in order to be financially secure? Okay, you have the number in your head? Here's the answer. The average American feels like they need to make $233,000 a year in order to be financially secure. As the article points out, that's over 3 times the median U.S. household income of $71,000. $233,000. That's a lot of money. That is $19,500 a month before you account for taxes. So the question is, why? Why does the average American feel like they need to make 3 times the median salary in the United States in order to be financially secure? Well, of course, people cite things like inflation and the cost of living, which is all fair. It's gone up tremendously in the last several years, and depending on the area, it's probably hard for you to find a home in your price range that you like. Things cost more than they used to. Services cost more than they used to. All of that is true. But I don't think that's the problem. Because even if you had a time machine and went back before all of this inflation started, I'd be willing to bet the average American would still say the same thing. They don't feel financially secure, and they would need a lot of money to make up for that. Now, the CNBC article is citing a Bankrate study, and what is very interesting is they asked people not only how much they needed to make in order to be financially secure, but how much they felt like they need to make in order to be rich, and the numbers basically double. If they thought they needed $233,000 just to make it and be financially secure, they felt like they needed $400,000 to be earned in a year in order to be rich. That is a tremendous amount of money. And I think it reveals the differences we talked about in last week's video. And if you haven't seen that, I'll link it down in the description below. But the average American feels like they need to make more money in order to be financially secure, rather than building wealth, which you can do with any income. Now, I'm not going to pretend that everybody is in the same financial scenario. You may be in a very high cost of living area and have a very limited income. And in that case, there's not a lot that you can do, but that doesn't mean there's nothing you can do. See, I think the average American feels like they need to earn so much money, not because they truly do, but they need to earn that money because of the lifestyle they live. The average American has a car payment, maybe even 2. And the average car payment for used cars, I think, is hovering somewhere close to $500, while the average car payment for a new car is somewhere around $700 a month. Yikes. That doesn't count student loans that most people are paying back, or the $5,000 in credit card debt at a 20% interest rate some people are paying. And when you start to stack all of these things on top of each other, I can understand why the average American feels like they would need to earn so much money in order to win with their finances. But you are watching this channel, so you know no matter what your income level is, and no matter how much you owe, if you will discipline yourself and make good financial choices, the only thing that can come out of that is a better financial situation than you're in right now. Might be tough, and it might not be fair, but the truth of the matter is, no matter where you are right now, if you want to win with money, you're going to have to do some things differently. Okay, here's why I think I can say that. If you're familiar with Ramsey Solutions at all, you may have heard of their national survey of millionaires. What they did was they interviewed 10,000 millionaires and asked them a range of questions, and they found some interesting results. 31, was it 31? Hold on. Only 31% of the 10,000 millionaires they interviewed made $100,000 annual salary or more, which means 69% of people who were millionaires never made over $100,000 in their working years. They never had a household income of six figures, and yet they were able to build a net worth of $1 million or more. Now you may say that times are different, things have changed, and in this new environment it isn't possible. I would strongly disagree, because what made those people millionaires to begin with are principles that are tried and true, no matter where you come from or what time you're living in. If you apply those principles, you will do better with money. Now, what are those principles? Well, it's low debt for one thing. Millionaires tend to be people who are almost allergic to debt. They don't have consumer debt. They paid off their student loans. They don't carry a ton of car debt. Over a period of time, they pay off their homes. These are people who are making money, not a ton, and using it wisely. They're not people who are living for the moment, but they played the long game. And here's the deal. Whatever your income is, you can do that too. These people didn't wake up millionaires the day after they decided they were going to start doing better with money. But when they put these principles into action over decades, when they played the long game and didn't live for the moment, it made them win with money. You may have advantages or disadvantages that these people didn't have, but I promise you this: if you will do the things that these people did over the course of decades, it's going to result in you building tremendous wealth. And you may say, that's great, but I don't want to wait until I'm 60 years old to be wealthy. And I get the argument. But what is the alternative? Be broke now and broke when you're 60? That doesn't sound like a present or a future that I want, which is why giving up some things today will be worth it in the long run. And I happen to believe the discipline that it takes to build wealth will make you a happier individual to begin with. Contentment is something that comes not from acquiring more things, but from being thankful for the things that you have. We have a problem in our country with consumer debt, consumerism. Our entire economy is built on the purchasing of things and keeping up with other people. No wonder it's so hard to build wealth. We use debt to get a degree that may or may not be useful. We buy a brand new car right out of college and start with a very negative net worth, and we just continue the cycle. Probably some credit card debt thrown in there. And what happens is we begin to finance our lifestyle using debt. Every time you upgrade something, going further and further into the hole. If you start out with a negative net worth and continue to use debt to finance your lifestyle, you're only digging the hole deeper. This is why, even though I don't agree with everything he says, I think for the majority of Americans, getting on Dave Ramsey's program would do wonders for their finances. Most people don't know what it takes to feel financially secure because they don't even know where their own finances are. You can't guess how much you would need to make in order to feel financially secure when you don't even know how much money you're spending in a month. Most Americans probably haven't sat down to do a budget. And as the man himself says, Dave Ramsey, when you get on a budget, you'll feel like you got a raise because you know where your money is going. So, what am I really saying? Would additional income help in building wealth? Absolutely, but not if you maintain the same lifestyle and financial habits that you have right now. I've said it before on this channel, but money is a magnifier. All it does is make you more of what you are. And I would bet that of those 2,500 adults surveyed in this article, most of them, if they were making $233,000 a year, would live a life similar to their lifestyle now, just with more zeros attached. What people really want isn't attached to a number per se. They want security. They don't want to worry about money, and that doesn't come from income itself. Because if you make $233,000 and you spend $243,000 in a year, you are going to be just as stressed as you are making $40,000 a year and spending $50,000 a year. But if you make $100,000 a year and you live on $70,000, you're going to be someone who feels financially secure because you're building wealth, giving yourself a financial buffer, and making a future. I wish that everyone watching this could automatically make $233,000 a year starting today, but that's not going to happen. But what I can promise you is, if you take some of the principles on this financial channel or from other financial education channels and you begin to apply them to your life, you're going to feel like you're doing better with money. Because financial security doesn't come from income alone. It comes from how you manage what you make. So what are those principles? Well, limited debt for one thing, saving an emergency fund, beginning to put money away for retirement. All of those things, as simple as they seem, can be accomplished when you make a plan. So get on a budget. I have a video about that too. If you'd like to watch it, I'll link it down in the description as well. Wherever you start, make sure you do it today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till you're making $233,000. Do it today. So if you like content like this and you want to come back to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And if you would like this video, give us a thumbs up. That would really help out the channel. I'm Samuel. Thank you for coming, and we look forward to seeing you next week.